Hatchet was my favorite book growing up. I read it for the first time in 7th grade, and I hated it. I read it again a couple months later, and I loved it because I realized I was reading it for fun. I empathized with Brian. I felt his pain, his happiness, his anger, and his fear. I understood who he was and what the world was expecting from him. Hatchet helped spark my love of reading. I realized that reading could be for fun and leisure and not just for school and education. In order for me to allow myself to start liking books, I had to forget everything that I thought I knew about reading and give myself the opportunity to learn again. One of my high school teachers introduced me to a Bruce Lee quote: "Empty your cup so that it may be filled. Become devoid to gain totality." You can't fill a cup if it's already full, just as you can't learn something that you already think you know. By emptying our cups, we discard all the preconceived notions and blind opinions that we have, and we're able to see whatever it is in a new light. Let me set the stage for the passage I'm about to read. Brian's plane crash-landed who knows how many days ago. Not only that, but he's tired, hungry, and alone in a remote forest. Sitting by the fire, he had taken the willow and carefully peeled the bark until he had a straight staff about 6 feet long and just under an inch thick at the base, the thickest end. Then, propping the hatchet in a crack in the rock wall, he had pulled the head of his spear against it, carving a thin piece off each time until the thick end tapered down to a needle point. It was crude, but it looked effective and seemed to have a good balance when he stood outside dire shelter and hefted the spear. He had worked on the fish spear until it had become more than just a tool. He'd spent hours and hours on it, and now it didn't work. He moved into the shallows and stood, and the fish came to him. Just as before, they swarmed around his legs, some of them almost 6 inches long. But no matter how he tried, they were too fast. At first he tried throwing it, but he had no chance. As soon as he brought his arm back, well before he threw. The movement frightened them. Next he tried lunging at them, having the spear ready just above the water and thrusting with it. Finally, he actually put the spear in the water and waited until the fish were right in front of it, but still somehow he telegraphed his motion before he thrust it, and they saw it and flashed away. He needed something to spring the spear forward, some way to make it move faster than the fish, some motive force, a string that snapped, or a bow and arrow, a thin, long arrow with a point in the water, and the bow pulled back so that all he had to do was release the arrow. Yes, that was it. Hatchet's about a boy who gets lost in the forest when his plane crash lands. Brian is forced to live off the land and has nothing but a hatchet on his belt to survive. He had to forget everything that he thought he knew and relearn survival skills through experience. He learned what berries to eat, how to make a fire, and also how to fish all on his own. This passage and the book in its entirety show us that sometimes it is best to empty your cup, and sometimes you have to forget everything you think you know in order to learn and survive. Thank you.